Pals for Life. Hey everyone, welcome back to Pals for Life. Pals for Life is weekly radio for anyone who wants to enjoy World of Warcraft with some extra pals. We've got your commentary on news, rumors, and a special segment we like to call The Boss Fight. Today is September 21st, 2014. My name is Wilson, and I'm joined today by Randall.
What's up, guys?
And Lane.
Hello.
Nano has been injured on the field of battle, and he will be back next week for a glorious return.
So glorious.
So let's jump right into this. Our Spellbreaker topic is the fourth part of Lords of War, Kilrogg Deadeye.
Whew. I didn't even know Deadeye is his actual like title.
Last name?
Or that's his last name, Kilrogg Deadeye.
It's not like clan name, because your clan is different
Yeah. It makes sense.
Unless you're Durotan, because then you're just Durotan.
Wow.
So
anyway,
I think the best person to get to hear from is Lane on this. And Lane, what do you think of it?
Well, it was cool because they did a good job making it feel like there was some looming, entity, and that Kilrogg wasn't okay with this, even though they never really said it was Kilrogg until halfway through the freaking thing. But you just had to assume, I guess. And you kind of got the feeling of not really a mutiny, but a succeeding of the throne coming on. And it was like a satisfying betrayal because, this is the death I wanted or, saw. And then, he becomes the chief and he's got a cool eye and yeah, it was cool.
Or a gone eye is what it is.
Yeah, gone eye. Yeah, that looks painful.
I actually got a little confused when it started because for some reason I thought Kilrogg was the chief. Was the existing chief?
Yeah, I thought that for a second too.
I got that pretty quick. I think they're just simpletons.
Shut the heck up.
we outnumber you, Randall.
Yeah, you're the simpleton in our minds.
If anything, you're outnumbered by simpletons who have nothing better to do. So
get wrecked, Randall.
Yeah, real wrecked.
It's a real wrecked.
Anyway, the part that kind of made me laugh a little bit was the very beginning when King Varian kind of seemed like he was getting a little feisty. I keep forgetting the Draenei's name, but he seemed like he was kind of the Draenei counselor.
Yeah.
But he just sounded like he was getting kind of like tired of being cooped up, like in the dialogue.
Let's just go kill things. That's what I got from him. Why do we have to care about this? Let's just go win.
Yeah.
Well, no. Varian, I think he's more hesitant because his dad was killed by the orcs. Right?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
So he's the hesitant one now. What's his face is the one that wants to go in though.
Oh,
even though he says the Draenei counselor, even though the Draenei counselor agrees that like people are gonna die.
Yeah, I guess he's always asking these questions that lead to long backstories, so probably a fair assumption.
Well, we'll find out the name of that Draenei paladin at some point. God,
someday. Let's put it in the notes next time.
Where?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Over the what is it? Dang it! That could have been a good one if I'd remembered the Dark Portal somewhere over the Dark Portal. There you go.
Oh, over the Dark Portal.
Whoa. Although I just kind of heard you say something. What if they made like a craft beer, the Dark Porter?
Oh my.
That'd be great.
Get out, Wilson. Just get out.
Anyway.
Don't make it, Wilson. And leave the podcast, please, while you're at it.
Alright, I'll be approaching Blizz with my craft brewery business, and you guys will be here.
Yep, here, not drinking it because it'll never be made. Oh! Okay.
I thought this was a nice change of pace in terms of scenery, like moving over to the jungle.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't know they had anything to do with the jungle, and it was a very intimidating-looking jungle. They did a really good job making things in such a odd art style feel very large and looming. Like the jungle looked like it had no end. Looked like
it looked like it had depth. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you could really
like
go through it.
Spider webs and like darkness here and there. And, yeah, it was really good.
What I thought was really weird was that they didn't even picture any of the Arakoa.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to see one of those.
They're the bird type guess things. I don't know. They look really scary in my opinion.
Kind of like Wilson does, honestly. It's kind of eerie how similar they are, to be honest.
Hey, I guess I don't need to look it up then. That's handy. Thanks, Will.
Yeah, dude.
Randall, thanks.
No problem, dude. More you know.
I almost called you Wilson there for a second. Crap.
Yeah, don't get me and him confused, please.
People like the ruffled hair look. That's all I'm saying.
Ruffled feathers in your case.
Exactly. That's pretty much all I feel about that. You guys have any extra thoughts on?
No, I think everything about covers the. I like this one better than Durotan, probably. That's about it.
That's fair.
Really? Okay, fair enough. I thought it was good for sure, and it was nice because Kilrogg took a very active stance.
Oh yeah.
As kind of becoming the chieftain rather than becoming the person he is.
Is Kilrogg dead?
No.
No, he's not? Okay. Because
Pretty
they
much
kind of
like-
left it ambiguous if you don't know about the lore there at the end.
Well, wait, do you mean like...
Like, in the current timeline of World of Warcraft, is he alive or dead?
No, he should
Not
be
the-
dead.
He should be?
He's dead in the current timeline, I think.
Oh, he is dead in the current timeline. Because he said, you know, he accepted his death with, you know, whatever.
But that was his future sight, right? So
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, I don't know. I think he's... I don't know now. I'm confused.
We're gonna have to go.
Let's get this going or we'll never leave, alright?
okay. Anyway, he's dead in the normal timeline, but in Draenor, he's alive and well.
Okay, cool.
So moving on to the boss fight. This is the segment of the show where Lane, who does not play WoW, but is in fact friends with several people who do play WoW, takes up some beef with the game. And this isn't a time for us to bash WoW necessarily, but to kind of actually have a discussion about some sort of design flaw or something he doesn't like about the way the game looks or feels. Lane, what's your beef with WoW?
Alright, this is something WoW Blizzard specifically has been trying to fix in the recent months, I guess. Months, maybe about a year. WoW has been trying to replace all of its character models, and my beef is with the old character models. This isn't as pertinent necessarily now as it would have been if we had this podcast a year ago, but I hate how most of the races look in vanilla, not necessarily vanilla, but vanilla, oh my gosh, vanilla texture models, WoW, vanilla rigging, WoW. I hate how people move. I hate how their bodies are set up, and I'm not really sure what they were trying to accomplish with the look that it is. Because if you look at the normal human in World of Warcraft, to me, they have a huge torso and really small legs, and these arms that are so big, it's insanity. And I look at that, and it's just really confusing for my mind. Like, what am I supposed to understand for this? Is he supposed to be strong? Because he has really small legs compared to his upper torso. So is he supposed to be like a midget or so? It's very confusing. And not all the races are like this. I thought they did a good job with the Draenei and like the Tauren, but that's because they're like non-human sort of, you know, rigging sets and stuff like that, and whole new models for stuff like that. I like those a lot. Anyone that seemed more human to me seemed very almost uncanny valley. It gets to the point where it creeps me out a little bit. And say in these Lords of War pieces, when they start out the Lords of War pieces with the animation from the game, it is very jarring for me to see the art and then maybe remember a cutscene that they had from, you know, the Lords of War lead up, where it shows all the orcs and stuff like that, where it looks so great and so awesome, and then see these models that are just almost cringeworthy to me. And it's not going to be like that to everyone, especially if you grew up with it, because this game was released in 2001, but there were some other games released in
2004.
2004? I believe it's 2001. Are you sure it's 2004?
Well, we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, 10-year anniversay. I don't know why I thought it was 2000.
Continue rant.
Anyway,
I'm
continue
just
rant.
gonna go back on the fact that I called these two fellow simpletons earlier, so.
I don't know. Google lied to me, bastard. Anyway, I'm sure they could have done better with it originally. They might have been trying to, we've talked about this many times, and I know David had a big stance on this, that they were trying to keep the horizons broad so people with crap computers could still run it. The toasters of the world could still pump out some time in WoW, and that's great, but I just hated how they modeled their characters, and I think they could have done a better job with it that may have fit World of Warcraft a little more. It's just really cringy for me to look at, and so that's my beef with WoW.
It is definitely a lot harder for me to, you know, recognize it as much, because, you know, me and Wilson have been playing this game for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we started playing it at a time, you know, where graphics sucked anyway, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I remember we bought a desktop for WoW that we both shared because our former computer was not able to run the game, and it still didn't run it too well.
No,
Yeah.
it was pretty bad.
Because what I originally did was why I said 2001. I looked up games that had come out in 2001 to like a benchmark, and obviously that doesn't work perfectly because World of Warcraft, as I said, made to be accessible. Things like Halo 2, Jack 3, and none of these things really fall into the MMO, and this is where the comparisons sort of lose steam. There's nothing really to compare it to back then, is there? RuneScape came out in 2001, but that thing doesn't even look like, you know, sort of like WoW. So I'm not sure what I should be gauging it off of, to be honest.
Well, you know, I think when they first made the game, they were still also like since like at that time you can't really achieve realism, right?
Not even close, yeah.
Not good realism. Like, it just looks like crap, basically.
Yeah.
So I think they're going for more of a cartoony look.
Yeah, actually, if you go back to the alpha models, World of Warcraft, the alpha, or even some beta stuff of the human models, they actually looked a lot more serious and less caricatured. But they moved over to that style. I think
reason specifically?
I think it was just to make it last a little longer.
And
you know what?
You know what else? Maybe also, it also fits like a more broad audience, right? Because people that are adults are going to play serious games anyway, and people that are children are more attracted to like kind of, almost goofy looking things.
That's totally fair. That's a good reason. The other part of this is that I sort of hate it took them 10 years to update this when they're not even at a point anymore where the game is at its peak. They could have done this, back when 5 years ago when the game was selling like hotcakes. It still is. I mean, it's still World of Warcraft, but I don't know. Maybe they're probably just getting time to get around to it now, but I just wish they would have done something different in that category because it's just not fun to look at for me.
I agree that I think it definitely could have happened sooner. There's no reason why they couldn't have upped the ante. I think during Cataclysm could have been a natural time for that, considering that Cataclysm changed all of Azeroth. Why not change the models? I'm sure it's one of those things that worked and it wasn't broken, so there's no need to fix it. Exactly.
Yeah, and it's worth noting, I guess, that they're not really changing much about the models for these. They are changing them here and there, but they're not like making the torsos normal compared to the lower bodies. It still looks odd to me. The difference being that there's a nice shiny texture coat on it, and it's much more pleasing to look at now to me. Still, their arms are all the size of freaking ham bones, so.
Yeah, basically the way the patch notes put it is, it's increasing fidelity and texture resolution of the models while maintaining the core look and feel of the originals.
Exactly what I didn't want, but it's their prerogative. This is a very weird thing to have a beef with because I don't know what the heck they were even going for in the first place. Probably a cartoony look, but it's hard to be sure because it's kind of not quite cartoony. It's like an off-cartoon kind of feel. It's very, very odd.
I can agree that looks kind of creepy because they almost look, they don't look like they'd be living almost, I guess, like living things. Like they look like kind of like dolls or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, even
like,
humans, like their
like
proportions are like
figures
stuffed.
Almost even, right? Something
yeah,
like that.
there you go. So I guess maybe that might have been their intention, and that, I don't know, but it bothers that on me.
Well, there's one good saving grace here as well, that the character animations are getting updated to have more personality.
They're going to be like a new run animation because I got so tired of that.
Some of them are getting changed, I think, actually. I don't know if all of them will,
yep.
though.
And they will also now support expressive facial expressions. So emotes are going to get more emotive, if you will.
That's good.
Sorry, I totally stole that.
Wow.
The thing that strikes me as a little weird is, if you go on the website and you check out, the new character models, they have some previews for you. They don't have, they only have, on the Horde side, they have, orc male females, undead males only, Tauren males. That's all they have on the Horde side. They don't have trolls reworked or, blood elves reworked to preview at least.
I could have sworn I just scrolled over something that said trolls rework. It might have been on one of the websites.
Well, it is going to be in the works.
I mean, like, the updated textures and everything. I could have sworn I just saw that.
I think they at least released, I could have sworn they showed one picture of the trolls. The female, yeah.
Maybe they showed a picture. Maybe that's just not part of the interactive yet.
Maybe so.
The website.
That makes sense.
But we do know that Blood Elves are not going to be having their fix until after the expansion comes out. And that's fine.
They look better than most of the other races anyway.
Yeah, Blood Elves is very compelling design to me, honestly. They're just cool looking.
I think the only bummer there is that, all the other races are getting fixed and they're coming out later. I think it's just because of a pipeline issue. It's not necessarily for any reason other than that they didn't have the time.
Yeah. They're doing a lot of other stuff, so.
Yeah, and it makes it cool too. It's like, you get your Blood Elf a little later and now you've got the new character model after everyone's already had theirs.
Agreed.
So, and then Alliance only has Dwarf male and female and no male and female. Night Elves and humans aren't up there yet.
I think it's because there's, I think the orc races probably look cooler, if that makes sense.
Yes, they definitely do.
So that's what they want to broadcast, right? They want to show all their cool stuff.
Yeah, and
I mean the Horde races? Yeah.
And the orcs are going to be a focal point of the next expansion, theoretically.
Oh, I said orc races, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, I was like, well, we do.
Well, same thing, right? Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Orcish Horde. Well,
all right.
I guess what I would also kind of counter that with, and this is also speaking to something we talked about earlier, was just that with these kind of basic and not too inspiring character models, it does leave a lot of room for you as the player to paint them, if you will, with armor and cool gear.
Yeah. I talked a little bit to you guys about this, that the armor sets are completely different story. Like, they've always had really cool armor sets, and yeah, you guys, I know you hate some armor sets with a passion, but I mean, they do a really good job at making you look not ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I mean, you definitely know when you're a scrub and when you're not.
Yes.
Although, with transmog, it definitely changes it up. You really have to check out stats a little more to be sure if somebody has good gear or not.
If I had my choice, I would transmog down to like the crappiest starter gear. Can you do that? Have like...
Oh yeah.
So I just transmog my awesome whatever legendaries to crappy starting gear and, run around looking dumb and nobody has any idea what I'm wearing.
And then just go pwn face?
Yeah, totally. Someday, maybe. Someday.
Hopefully soon.
Oh, soon TM.
World of Warcraft.
There's an ongoing struggle for us to recruit Lane back into the realm of Azeroth because he's now part of the show.
Yeah, guys, if you'd like to see Lane come back, leave a comment. I think if y'all did that, he'd probably be forced to. So.
Oh, please no.
It may be forced to give up some other life obligations.
Yeah.
So. Oh boy. Well, I think to cap off this boss fight, Lane, you have a good point that this should have happened sooner.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we couldn't have had updated models, especially given how they did do some visual updates to the game with the expansions, and that the character models were excluded from.
Well,
for the most part, I know they did.
I'm sure there is a reason, but that reason could just as well be that Blizzard didn't think about it or didn't feel like doing it. So, who knows, really.
But I guess to the other part of that is that, yes, we are getting new models, so hopefully Worlds of Draenor will deliver that.
Yeah. And it'll look nice and shiny.
We all love shiny things.
Yeah.
Moving on to Tavern Talk. This is basically news and rumors heard from all over. The first item on the list here is WoW expansions are expected to arrive more quickly in the future. This is basically a quote that's been taken out of context from Tom Chilton.
That was quick. Taken out of context.
Well, not taken out of context, but basically he says the studio has expanded the game's development team. We knew that. This happened a little while back. They basically doubled the size of the WoW team.
Hired everyone everywhere, pretty much.
Over the past 2 years, and they are hoping to release expansions at a faster rate.
Okay, that's not out of context at all, I guess. That's just, we're gonna release things faster. Get ready.
Well, I think one thing we should say is that they're planning to, right?
Yeah, they haven't delivered on it yet.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
I'm not saying that they're trying to go back on the word or anything, but I think he said that for a reason because you never know exactly what's going to happen, and possibly they could just maybe release less expansions or something. They might release more in patch or in expat content and stuff like that.
And for those of you looking for some hard numbers, the team has expanded from 150 employees to 220. So they added 70 folks.
Yeah.
It's pretty hefty.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
More people equals more details.
The main thing was just kind of training the new employees to kind of develop in a way that fits into the style of WoW, because it's a very particular game. Mm-hmm. I think that it's one of those claims that, for better or worse, we'll find out in 2 or 3 years.
Or maybe 1 or 2 if they keep to their word.
That'll be interesting to see, but I just remember that the original claim was an expansion every year.
Yeah.
And that didn't work out.
Pretty crazy. Hey, maybe they can get up to it with this. I doubt it, but we'll see.
Right. Well, the next item on our list is Alright, spoiler alert. Nothing's about to happen. But if you want some spoilers of some in-game cutscenes of Warlords of Draenor, look no further than our show notes. Basically, Blizzard on Battle.net unveiled a whole playlist of 8 different in-game cutscenes you can check out. I haven't seen them. Have you guys seen them?
No,
I haven't. I guess we're keeping the spoiler-free route here today.
Yeah, spoiler-free is kind of fun sometimes. You kind of get the spirit of the game.
So JK on spoilers.
But if you do want spoilers, check out the show notes. We'll have the link there, and watch at your own risk.
Best of luck. Let us know what happens.
No, don't let us know what happens.
Okay.
What the heck?
JK, don't let us know what happens. Never mind.
Do not. The Legendary Cloak quest chain is coming to an end soon with the release of World of Draenor. Now's your last chance to get that thing. Basically, there's this super duper quest chain that you can do at level 90 to get a really cool cloak that has all sorts of aura behind you. I think there are 4 different cloaks. Yeah.
They're really cool looking. They remind me a little bit of Diablo.
Yeah, they do. There was definitely some like asset.
There's gosh, what's his name? Tyrael's.
Some Tyrael going on there.
Yeah, he's got the like white things hanging off of him, like little tentacles almost.
Yeah, tentacles of light.
Tentacles of light, yeah, pretty much.
If you want in on that and you haven't already, you need to get the quest chain started before the pre-expansion patch 6.0.2. So there's no exact date when that patch is coming out, but it's soon TM. So I'm going to say, October 14th is a good Tuesday to look out for.
Well, I was actually looking at the page and I just realized, top comment made me realize something. Drop rate, how is that going to work? If it's not too much time to, finish up these quests and it's not 100% drop, you're going to have to grind that maybe.
Well, you will have to grind certain, aspects of the chain, and there's a buff called the Gaze of the Black Prince that is going to be extended. It's going to stay on until November 13th, which is the release of Worlds of Draenor, which basically increases the reputation gained with the Black Prince by 100% what you need, and it also increases the chance of obtaining items needed for that quest. So,
okay, that's good.
Basically, they're going to let you grind that out quickly if you want it.
Okay, cool.
Be on the lookout for that because the quest chain and the ability to obtain the cloak in general will be gone on November 13th. So get it while it's hot.
Yes, sir.
Here's some really interesting news. Blizzard is doing a massive character name reclamation for the pre-expansion patch, which basically means names that have been sat on for years are going to finally get freed up.
There's a lot of stuff in that vault, I bet.
I'm just wondering how many names are getting freed up.
Or maybe they'll do some statistics afterwards.
That'd be great if they did. I would love to see that data.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll be good names. That's what I want.
Do either of y'all have any names that are sitting pretty?
No, I mean, I've logged into WoW since before.
Yeah,
since
2008, yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
On all my characters. Well, maybe an alt or two. I might need to go check that out.
There you go.
I wonder how that works, though. Like, basically the name's opened for trade, and then, like, if your name gets taken, you would log in, and it would be like, your name's been taken. Please choose a new name.
Yeah, probably. Or maybe they just delete your account.
Wow, okay. Not even the character, just corruption.
Rest in peace.
Rest in pieces.
So basically, characters that have not logged in since November 13th, 2008 will have the names freed up when 6.0.2 launches. And I think sometime in October that patch is going to come out. Okay. So that's pretty cool. I know I've had, like, names totally sat on before, and it's been kind of frustrating. You check out the armory, and some level 10 druid has your stellar name. It doesn't even fit. It doesn't even fit a druid. You're just like, God. It's totally a warrior name. Anyway, be on the lookout for that. If you have some alt that you're sitting a name on, maybe consider leveling them up so that way the name is worth something. Or, if you have some name you've really been wanting for a while, be sure to go for it whenever the Warlords comes out. And our next item on the list, I know you guys have heard of the pre-expansion patch 6.0.2, but we just wanted to talk about some of the stuff that we're excited about. It's coming out. You can check out the patch notes on Battle.net and in our show notes, of course. But the first thing that I want to talk about for this pre-expansion patch is the world event, Iron Horde Incursion. So the Dark Portal in the Blasted Lands has turned blood red, and there are orcs everywhere. Basically, Alliance and Horde are both present there. And there's going to be a lot of action going down at the Dark Portal, which is now red. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. And for those of you who played, it looks a lot similar to the event that happened right before Wrath of the Lich King, with all the undead stuff and killing stuff. So you can I would expect to see some loot come out. Like pre 90 to 100 loot to get you started on your leveling and stuff, maybe.
I'm expecting some serious PvP as well.
Yeah, hope so.
And on top of that, there's going to be, as you've heard, a specially revamped 5-player version of Upper Blackrock Spire, also known as Ubers. It's going to be available to level 90 players for a limited time, and it sets the stage for the coming Counter-Strike against the Iron Horde.
Lore things.
I think that's pretty cool. It's a good way to kind of fill in that gap between, pre-expansion patch and the patch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I personally love things like this. I play Warframe a lot, and I don't know if either of you do. I know you played a little bit, Randall. I don't think you did, Wilson. But if any of you guys out there have played Warframe, they are very frequent with, like, events that change the world drastically or stuff like that. And they always do it leading up to lore stuff. It's extremely engaging, and it's a great reason to play, and it's the exact same here. So,
we're trying to sell World of Warcraft here, not Warframe. All right?
It's got war in it, doesn't it?
Hold on. wait a second, we're not trying to sell anything.
Yeah.
We just love WoW.
Right? Yeah.
We're trying to sell podcasts, dude. Don't you know they're free?
Well, they can be. I think you could make money off of them somehow.
Really? I don't know. Maybe
But-
put like advertisements in them or something. Next
No, I
time
think-
on Pals for Life.
We have to
well,
have
you
like
can
some jingle before from like for some other company.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God. Or do some like really cheesy commercials. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe halfway through the show we'll have to do a commercial sometime. Yeah, hopefully we will never be doing that. I doubt we ever will.
Maybe we could create a fake commercial for an item in WoW.
Oh God.
Ooh, that'd
Anyway.
be fun.
Now we're just
That might-
spitballing.
That actually is maybe in next week's show.
Oh,
Be on the
good
lookout.
Lord. Okay.
So the next thing I want to move on to in this new patch, or the pre-expansion patch, is the inventory. Inventory is getting a crazy overhaul. There's all sorts of stuff, but some of the things that stick out include the toy box. It holds fun items that you get while traveling, and it's account-wide, so it functions a lot like your mounts and your battle pets. Another thing that's really cool is quest items no longer take up inventory space. That's kind of weird, actually.
No, I
Yeah.
think that's pretty useful actually, because
I think
sometimes
that's-
it's just because you're trying to get your quest done, and then like you have like your bags full, and you have to like go search through what you want to delete, and
Yeah, that's probably just a lot of upcoming quests. I mean, with the next patch, there are going to be a lot of new quests. There's a lot of players who are already max level, maybe have a lot of crap on them. So, I don't know, quality of life change, I think.
I think that's good quality of life. Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, trade school materials now stack up to 200 rather than 20.
That's
That's
quite a
crazy.
change, 10 times.
Yeah, that is really significant.
Are there any big changes to trade school, anything coming in the next patch, or coming in the big expansion or anything?
Well, speaking also to more inventory stuff, you can actually, you can craft using materials stored in your Regent Bank tab, and the Regent Bank tab is basically a tab that only can store raw materials, and a lot of them. But basically you can craft from anywhere, so that now your trade schools, you could make potions from anywhere, basically. It's a little weird.
Do they usually release things like that with new expansions? New stuff to craft, I guess?
Well, I mean, all the professions will be going up, so you can become a whole new level of mastery for each profession.
Just to answer your question, though. Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's such a random change. I don't know if it's been requested for a long time, but 10 times is kind of staggering. Like, even just from my perspective, I don't know a lot about it, but that's like quite a gameplay change right there.
I'll just be interested to see how it works in the auction house, considering, normally it's like you always buy stacks of 20 of everything.
Oh God.
I wonder if that's going to be the norm now, or is 50 going to be the norm? It'll be fun.
Yeah, should be interesting.
Bags can now be assigned to a specific item, so you could have your own personal gun bag, or your own weapon bag at least. You could have a crafting materials bag. So anything you loot will automatically go to whatever bags it's assigned to.
Hallelujah. I think that's awesome because, dude, automatic bagging, yes please. It's like I'm at Walmart for World of Warcraft. Put me in line and check me out. Let's go.
Yeah, with World of Warcraft, let's do it.
Yeah.
On top of that, you can also clean up your bag. So there's going to be an auto sort function that finally works without having to get a mod for it.
Very cool.
That's interesting that it took 10 years for an auto sort function to be integrated into World of Warcraft.
How long has that mod been around? That's the real question.
Yeah. Well, there have been mods for a lot of these functions, but moving on out of inventory, there's a huge stat squish on the way, but to maybe give you guys an example that you can tangibly apply, let's say, for example, you have a fireball that hits a creature for 450,000 out of its 3 million health, which is 15%, will now hit that creature for 30,000. So 450,000 down to 30,000 because that creature only has 200,000 health now.
Interesting.
So basically you're still just as strong, the numbers are just a little less huge, so you have some room on your screen to see other parts of the game.
Nice.
Yeah. That'll be interesting to see, and I think it'll be good overall.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Hit and expertise are two stats that are getting completely removed from the game, and there are going to be some new secondary stats that'll be thrown into the game. One of them is bonus armor, which I think includes hit and expertise silently, but it also has more armor and attack power. Multi-strike is basically a chance for spells and ability to fire up to 2 additional times with 30% power. And versatility increases damage and healing and absorption and reduces damage taken.
Thanks, son.
So, a lot of new stats.
The stats.
Healing has been retuned. Basically, they felt that, healers and raids in particular, I think, were kind of would scramble to get everyone back up to 100% because they'd go down to basically 0 or, that lower than 5% so quickly. And instead they want it to feel more like time in between that. So it's a little more fun to heal and probably some more emergent gameplay and styles of healing rather than just heal everyone up to the top because the numbers were so huge.
Yeah, that's a pretty big gameplay change. More decision making involved for sure.
Mm-hmm. There are a whole bunch of racial changes. You guys just have to check them out. To be sure, there's a lot of stuff going away, a lot of stuff getting added in. So check out your favorite race. It'll be definitely interesting to see how that affects PvP. I think that's usually one of the areas where people are most audible about racials. Lots of abilities are getting removed. In a previous show, we talked about how Hunter's Mark was getting taken away, and I was sad. But just for some more frame of reference here, a couple of items that are featured as Hearthstone cards are getting removed. Rockbiter enchantment is getting removed from the game, and so is Inner Fire. So a Shaman ability and a Priest ability are getting removed that are iconic enough to be in Hearthstone are no longer in World of Warcraft.
And we will report to you with the effects of Hearthstone in a coming episode.
It's kind of interesting how they did that. I wonder if they just decided that, like, instead of trying to rework it in a different way, that they just rather delete it.
Yeah, I guess.
And
they want to simplify.
Yeah, and also that, it seems like they almost tried to simplify more around, like, their cards and stuff, right? Because they're broadcasting their game with that, and then it's like, that's not even in there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's an interesting nuance.
Maybe they forgot about it.
I don't think so.
I mean, maybe just no one in the WoW department plays Hearthstone.
Well, one last thing to add to this list is a summon favorite mount button or feature has been added to this patch. So you'll be able to basically, at the click of a button or a keystroke, summon your favorite mount. This was already existed in mods, but it's cool that Blizzard's integrated it.
Everything existed in mods.
That's kind of the TLDR of a lot of the simplification.
Oh, yeah.
But also, flying mounts are not able to be used as ground mounts in no-fly zones. So,
dang.
So we still got flying mounts, right?
Right, but basically it's just let the mount collection continue because you can now use your flying mounts as ground mounts in the no-fly zones.
Yeah.
Oh, you can or you can't?
You can.
Okay, I heard I can't, so I was like, what? That sucks. But nope, we're good.
And tons more stuff on the patch notes, so feel free to check that out. Moving on to Trade Chat. This is a section where we hear from you, the viewer. We got a comment on the website from Joel, and he basically wanted to say he's been enjoying the show, and he just really likes the topics we're talking about. But he did want to check out our guild, but he found it was on an RP PvP server. That was not cool. Ew.
He actually said ew.
And he wanted to, he wishes us best of luck, but at the same time, he wants to make a little fun of us. And we take that in stride. RP PvP is 1 foot in RP and 1 foot in PvP, and that's kind of how we like it.
That's how we like it, guys. We like it a little mixed up.
Like your peas and your mashed potatoes.
I mean, it's like PB&J, Like, I'm sure when people first thought about that, they thought it was weird, Now everyone does it. So, something to think about.
So, great to hear from you, Joel. We like a mix, and you're always welcome to hit us up on Battle.net just to say hi. Or if you want, maybe check out our PvP. You might like it. Anyway, it's great to hear from you guys. Our guild, PFL, is live on Emerald Dream Alliance side. Feel free to hit us up on our battle tags. You can find those battle tags in the show notes. Also, the PALS hotline is up and running. This is a place for you to phone in if you'd like. It's 323-451-9693. Give us a jingle and have your voice heard on the air. And without further ado, we're going to close this thing out. Thank you for the group, and thanks for tuning in this week. Please feel free to shoot us any questions, complaints, or screenshots of your time-lost proto-drake to pals@palsforlife.net. And to listen to any of our previous episodes, check out our website, palsforlife.net. And of course, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and anywhere else podcasts are found. Until next time, this has been Pals for Life. Yeah. Oh, Randall, nothing?
I have to?
Oh my gosh.
I thought Lane had it under control.
Boop. Boop.
Okay.
Da da da. Da 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 da. Da da da. Da da. Da da da. Na na. Da da.
Stop.
Da da. Da da da. Lore things. Everything existed in mods.
We've got your commentary on news, rumors, and a special segment we like to call... Hold on.
A super special segment.
I tried to run with that. I couldn't.
A special segment we called a boss fight. Oh my gosh.
I thought Lane had it under control.
I got it unlocked, bro. Oh my god. Oh, World of Warcraft.